Good evening, everyone. We know we have a rental crisis in Australia. We know that rents are skyrocketing in cost, and they are skyrocketing faster than the government is willing to admit or report. But looking at this graph here, economists consider that if you spend more than 30% of your income on rent or on your mortgage, that you are in quote stress. Well, Australian renters are now spending a record amount of their income, 33% of their income on rent, which means the average renter in Australia is in stress. Now let's have a look at some of the government data compared to private sector data. We can see that the Australian Bureau of Statistics is reporting that rents since 2019 have gone up about 19%, with consumer prices going up roughly 20%. Yet if we look at CoreLogic, private sector real estate research and advertised rents, they are reporting that rents have actually gone up by about 50%, so more than double what the government is reporting. And of course, the government has an incentive to understate inflation because governments create inflation. Governments are responsible. Let's have a look at another graph here. This is from Commonwealth Bank comparing the Australian Bureau of Statistics. And Commonwealth Bank has access to people's bank accounts and spending habits. So when Commonwealth Bank records the rental increase since 2020, the Australian Bureau of Statistics is reporting, as we looked at earlier, about 17.5%. Commonwealth Bank is suggesting that rents have gone up 32%, so about double what the government is suggesting. And I would again say that Commonwealth Bank has a more accurate picture, or maybe the government has an accurate picture, they're just not reporting it accurately. If we look at the next chart, so even though that rents are at all-time record highs, they've gone up faster than inflation, they're the highest percentage of our income that we've seen, a lot of Australian real estate investors or landlords are negatively geared, meaning that the rent they collect is still less than their cost to pay their mortgage, their council rates, their insurance, etc. About 55% of real estate investors are negatively geared. And if we have a look at this, the average amount of negative gearing, according to the tax office data from 2023, if you own one property, you're losing cash flow about $6,900 per year, and it goes up as you add more property. So how could it be that rents are as high as they've ever been, highest percent of our income, yet a lot of landlords still can't have a cash flow positive investment, and it's not what a lot of people think it is. It's people are worried about immigration. We'll have a look at this graph here that shows the price of Australian houses in capital cities relative to our incomes going back to 1985. Back in the late 80s, you could buy a home in the capital city for 4 to 5 times income. Now it's 12. This is a trend that's been going on long before anyone was worried about immigration. And of course, I can't point it out and the whole story in one video, but I've made many videos talking about how the RBA is responsible for deliberately creating inflation. The government is the primary cause of this massive out of whack real estate market that we have. Watch more videos if you want to learn the bigger picture. Cheers.